Happy Monday. We have two MLB playoff games. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're here to talk some more baseball. That's right. Took a little weekend hiatus, but we're back and we got some high stakes games on the slate today in the American League. Playoffs have been crazy. We'll go over the bets recap from last week. It's been 3 days of bets, but it's been streaky, but we're profitable so far. So quick reminders, NFL Monday Night Football video is out now. Go check that out as we had another winning weekend on the channel in the NFL, which you'd love to see. And then the NHL videos will be out soon, as Tuesday is the start of the NHL season. And our boy Karan will have those best bets videos out for you guys as well. So lots of exciting things happening. Before we get into this, let's check out our sponsor, Betanysports, as they have some great deals to offer right now. Sign up now and you get a 30% cash bonus. Use that QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below. I've already talked to a few people that have signed up and they absolutely love it. Me and Ryan love this website. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything. You want to go bet on some sports, you can get some line discounts, reduced juice offers, and then you have online casino games, lotto platform. You can bet on some horses, etc., along with those league live streams. So go check it out. Link in the description or that QR code. But I'm ready to get into it. And we got an MLB fun fact to kick it off. So here we go. Every team that has eliminated the Brewers in the playoffs has made or won the World Series since 1981. That is insane. That's 10 teams since 1981. That team that beats the Brewers in the playoffs, they either in the World Series or they won it. 6 of those 10 teams actually won it. Will the Mets make it 7? That is the question. But in this video, we're going to recap last week. We got 2 days to recap from bets. And then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups. Still, we got some even with only 2 games. And then we're going to go over pitcher strikeout matchups. Not necessarily the best pitcher strikeout matchups, but we're just going to go over 3 of the pitchers just so you have stats and info to make your best informed decision. Then we'll go over the small pitcher report. And then we'll give you some best bets or leans if that's all we have for these. I'm not going to do a hitter parlay. There's just not a lot of hitters out there. It's the playoffs, tough pitchers, just nothing to, I don't want to throw anything out there just because. So, and then of course we'll wrap it up with a recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 30,000 subscribers. Just been an incredible journey, a little over 2 years on the channel now. So I'm ready to get started, and that means it's recap time. All right, we only got 2 days to go over, and they were 2 opposite days. I mean, Thursday we went 0-3, guys. Mets team total, they had 3 after 2 innings, and they end on 3. Lindor, Ozuna, hit parlays are probably not the way to go in the playoffs, to be honest. And then the under 7, the Braves, Padres, I think they went over a little bit towards the end, but just not as good at pitching as I thought. Playoff record still profitable, up 1.32 units, 5-3, because Saturday we went 2-0, over 7.5, easy win. Mets money line. Not an easy win, but they were down 1-0 going to the bullpens, and that's all you can ask for at plus 150. The Mets pull off the late inning magic in game 1 for a nice plus 150 winner. So, as you can see, we've had 3 days of bets on the MLB. 3-0, 0-3, 2-0. So I'm either going to win on my bets or lose on my bets. Just something to think about. So if I bet 2 and I lose the first one, you know where the day's heading. Just saying. But anyways, that's the recap for the playoffs and for last week. And now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, surprisingly, we actually have 4 good hitter matchups, even in just the 2 games. Salvador Perez, he's practically hitting 500, 12 for 26, 4 extra base hits, and 3 bombs off the lefty Carlos Rodon. Jose Ramirez, 9 for 21, 4 extra base hits off Skubal. That is pretty impressive. And then Austin Hedges, 3 for 8 off Skubal. And then Tyler Freeman of the Guardians, 3 for 6, no extra base hits versus Skubal as well. So those are the 4 good hitter matchups. Let's take a look at the bad one, and we only got 2. Tommy Pham, 2 for 14. Yuli Gurriel, 3 for 15 with 5 Ks off of Rodon. So short and simple, those are the hitter matchups for the day. Now let's check out the pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, this is me just giving you some info today. I'm not going to give you the best or the worst or anything, but these are the 3 high strikeout pitcher. Honestly, I could have included Matthew Boyd in here. He's missed some bats as well, but he's had some shorter outings. But let's just go over the numbers so you guys can read this and say, you know, maybe do I want to make a K prop bet or not? But Tariq Skubal, Guardians, he's only faced them once. He had 6 Ks. Guardians 12th lowest K rate versus lefties. Skubal 6+ Ks in 28 of his 31 starts this season. That's pretty impressive and consistent for the AL Cy Young Award winner. His K rate is a bit higher on the road as well, 31.4, as you can see there. Then the lefty Cole Ragans. He's faced the Yankees once this season. He had 7 Ks. Yankees, though, have the second lowest K rate versus lefties since September 1st at 19.3%. That is really freaking low. Cole Reagan, 6 plus Ks in 11 of his last 12 starts, so something has to give there. His K rate is a bit lower on the road, but still good, 27.7 compared to 30.7 at home. And then the third lefty. That's right, we have 4 lefties. These 3 and Matthew Boyd, every single starting pitcher is a lefty today. Rodon has faced the Royals twice this season. He had 9 and 3 Ks. That doesn't help you. Royals have the 8th highest K rate versus lefties. Finally, a team that actually strikes out a lot versus lefties. That's almost 27%. But Rodon is a guy who's really been hit and miss. As you can see, I just gave his last 10 starts there. He's got a lot of 4s, 5s, some 8s, 11. It's kind of been all over the place, to be honest with you. His K rate is a bit higher at home, though, 27.5% compared to 25.7 on the road. So there's some pitcher strikeout matchups and the info to help you out. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. There they are, the 4 lefties. Skubal versus Boyd to start it out. 2 good pitchers. There's a reason you see a total of 6 in this game. It's absolutely insane. But you know how good Skubal is with great command and everything. Boyd, like I said, his last start was almost 90 pitches, which is good to see. But before that, he was making shorter starts. We'll see how far he goes here. 2.72 ERA. Another guy who misses bats as well. And then Cole Reagans against Carlos Rodon, the 2 lefties. Reagan's 29.3% K rate. We know what he can do as well as Rodon. Reagan's can have some command issues sometimes. We have seen that in the past in the Yankees. Well, we'll talk about all the details and how good they are at walks here in just a little bit. But a lot of good pitchers. Carlos Rodon's probably been the one guy who's been hit quite a bit. He's given up a lot of home runs and had been hit quite a bit. But luckily for him, he gets to face the Royals offense. But anyways, take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you with your bets or your research or whatever it is. That is the pitcher report. And now it is time for the best bets. First up, we got the Guardians hosting the Detroit Tigers in the AL Central Showdown again. Tigers on the money line minus 130, Guardians plus 110 with a total of 6 runs. That's a full game total, guys, right there. That's insane. I'm going to give you just a mini big game breakdown for each one, just so you kind of know where these pitchers are at and how the hitting's doing and all that kind of stuff. So we got Skubal versus Boyd. Skubal Steve, he's as good as it gets. We know that. Home road splits, 1.99 ERA at home, 2.86 ERA on the road, 171 average against at home, but a 234 average on the road. So he's been hit a little bit on the road. Obviously, he's as good as it gets when it comes to any of these splits. But righty-lefty, 204 average, 323 slugging to righties, 186 average, 248 slugging to lefties. It's not an easy job going up against him as a lefty. He's given up 15 home runs this year. 14 of them have been to righties. Only 1 lefty has hit a home run. I don't know who it is. But he's only faced 122 lefties compared to 631 righties as well. But Matthew Boyd, let's talk about him. Everything's a small sample size. He's only pitched 39.2 innings this year. Home road splits, 2.25 ERA at home in 20 innings, 3.20 ERA on the road in 19.2 innings. Righty-lefty splits. He's only given up a 143 average and a 357 slugging to lefties, 230 average against, 344 slugging to righties. Pretty much lefties on both sides of this game are going to struggle against these starting pitchers. He's only given up 4 home runs in his 39.1 innings. He also has 46 Ks in the 39.2 innings. He's the only guy we didn't talk about in the K matchups, but he's been pretty good at missing bats, as you saw. Now, some offenses versus lefties since September 1st. Since they're both lefties, you may not know it, but the Guardians are the #1 team in baseball with a 153 WRC plus. They are second in slugging. They are hitting lefties very well. So we got one of the top offenses versus one of the top starting pitchers. It's going to be a good matchup. Tigers 25th in WRC plus, 26th in slugging against lefties. Obviously, advantage Guardians on this one. So with all that said, you want a best bet. In this game, I don't have one, but I'm going to give you 3 leans that I was looking at. I'm going to be honest, I don't want to just force a bet just because we have to have a bet on a game or anything like that, but I'm just going to give you some leans, talk through it. Maybe one of them you like, maybe you just don't bet this game, and it's okay not to bet a game. That would be my recommendation, but I may add a play in the morning on it if I find something, but right now I just got leans. So the leans, Skubal over 4.5 hits allowed. He did give up 10 hits last time against Cleveland. Like I said, the Guardians offense, #1 versus lefties. Cleveland's got some hitters that are familiar with him as opposed to other teams like in the National League or other divisions that don't see him as much. I think Cleveland can get 5+ hits here. It got a little too juiced. I think I saw -145. So that just kind of made me think a little bit. So right now I'm holding off, but that's a lean. Matthew Boyd over 4.5 Ks. He's had some shorter outings lately. That's why I think you see this small number. Also, it's gotten juiced up high a little bit at 4.5. But in his last start, he did throw 88 pitches, which you like to see. He has 5 or more Ks in 5 straight starts now. And the 88 pitches though was his last start on September 21st. So we have a long wait between starts, which kind of mucks this up a little bit. Kind of makes me just pause a little and see, because I don't know how long he's actually going to go in this one, unless the coach calls me, which I'll be by my phone at any moment. But Matthew Boyd over 4.5 Ks is another one. Third one, just the Guardians on the money line. I mean, we're getting plus money here for a good starting pitcher at home in the Guardians. Yes, I know it's Tariq Skubal, but we're talking about one of the best offenses in the league versus lefties against one of the worst offenses versus lefties in the Tigers. Guardians elite and rested bullpen. So in the later innings, they're going to have the advantage. I just think plus money for the Guardians at home. I don't mind that one bit. So those are my leans and the big game breakdown for the Tigers and Guardians. And now let's talk some Royals and Yankees. All right, we head out to the Bronx where the Yankees host the Kansas City Royals. Yankees on the money line minus 155. Royals on the money line plus 130 with a total of 7.5 runs. I cannot believe we're still talking about the Royals this late in the season. Starting pitcher matchup, let's talk about it. Cole Ragans versus Carlos Rodon. Again, two more lefties. Ragans, he's pretty freaking good. I'll tell you that. You guys know that already. But home road splits, 2.87 ERA on the road. He's been better with only a 198 average against on the road, 3.40 ERA at home. Obviously, he is on the road here if you don't know. Righty-lefty splits. Actually struggles more versus lefties, which is surprising. He gives up a pretty high average, 276 average and a 382 slugging to lefties, and then he dominates righties, 195 average, 321 slugging. 13 of his 15 home runs given up have been to righties, though. And it's coming in scorching hot, 108 ERA in September and 25 innings. He just threw 6 shutout innings in his one start in October versus the Orioles in the wild card round. He's given up 2 or less runs now in 5 straight starts. That includes a start versus Yankees team where he went 6 innings, 3 hits, and 2 earned runs. Now let's talk about Carlos Rodon. Out of these lefties, probably the most hittable lefty. Home road splits, 3.11 ERA at home, though. He's been much better. 4.69 ERA on the road, 2.24 average against at home, 2.61 average against on the road. Righty-lefty splits, pretty even. 2.24 to lefties, 2.38 to righties, 4.54 slugging also to righties. 28 of his 31 home runs given up have been to righties. Yes, that's right. He's given up 31 home runs. He's given up a lot of hard contact this year as well. But he's coming in pitching really well. His second half of the year has been much better. In September, 2.20 ERA. 4 starts ago was against this Royals offense. 6 innings, 6 hits, and 3 earned runs given up. He gave a quality start there. Now let's talk about these offenses versus lefties since September 1st. OMG, people. That's what they say, right? Royals are dead last, and it's not even close. We're talking a 20 WRC plus. 100 is average. This team has been downright atrocious. A minor league team versus lefties with a 163 batting average since September 1st. 4th lowest walk rate. They're not getting on base. They're not hitting. They're doing nothing. Yankees, 9th highest WRC plus, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but that's at September 1st. Only 24th in slugging and the highest walk rate in the majors at 15.4%. Next one is like 11.5%. I mean, it's crazy how much they walk, but I have a best bet in this game. Of course, it's a half unit. It's the playoffs. Unless I just really feel it, I'm going to keep doing half units because these books are pretty sharp right now with only a few games to deal with. So my best bet in this game, we're going back to Cole Ragans, over 15.5 outs recorded at plus 120 on DraftKings. This is the playoff line, guys. Cole Ragans doesn't get plus 120 on 15.5 outs in the regular season. He went over this line in 25 of 33 starts, over in 16 of the last 20 starts. He has been absolutely dealing, and as you just heard, he has under a 3 ERA on the road. This comes down to his command for me. I mean, honestly, yes, the Yanks walk a lot, and sometimes Cole Ragans can have a little off command, walk 2-3 guys. His walks line is at 2.5. I need him to have some decent command here. I really do, and I think if he does, he's going to work into the 6th inning pretty decently here. Royals bullpen isn't very good. I don't think the Royals are going to be just in a hurry to get Ragans off the mound and get to their bullpen or anything. This is their ace. This is their horse. They're going to ride him as long as he's throwing the ball pretty well. Yankees offense. Now, we talked about it. They are 9th WRC plus versus lefties since September 1st. But over the course of the season, they're more in that 15, 16, 17th range. They're a pretty average team versus lefties. They do dominate righties, but that doesn't matter here. The numbers I think that you see that are better lately are a little skewed. Here's the lefties they faced in September 1st. Bailey Falter, J.P. Sears, Cole Ragans was in there. He went 6 innings. The only good pitcher, Jordan Wicks, Andrew Heaney. It hasn't been that tough. That's why you see a little bit better numbers. Like I said, the only really good lefty there is Cole Ragans, obviously, and he went 6 innings already against the Yankees. I know this is a tougher matchup. I know the Yankees can work counts and really get some hits sometimes and really just work pitchers in general with long at-bats. But again, that's why we're getting 15.5 outs and plus 120. That's where we got to remember is this is value. This is plus 120 on the over 15.5 outs. And the Yankees may not strike out as much as other opponents. You know what? That might help. Maybe we can get some quicker outs as long as he's throwing strikes. So I like this for a half unit. Give me Cole Reagans over 15.5 outs as my best bet. And now let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. Just the one best bet right now. Cole Reagans over 15.5 outs recorded. That is plus 120. It's a value play, and I also just like the play in general. Half unit play. C leans from Tigers Guardians. That's right. I don't have any bets in that. If you fast forwarded just the bets recap, I talked about 3 different leans in that game. If you want to listen, I may have an added play in the morning. If I do, it'll be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. So be sure to go check out that Monday Night Football Best Bets video as we look to stay hot in the NFL, and NHL is coming in the next 24 hours. So lots of exciting things happening. But thank you guys for watching, as always, for the support day in and day out. Hope you have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.